I got the bloodlust. Me too. I want to kill. Let's kill.
Hello, and welcome to The Bloodlust. This is your go-to podcast for classy broads talking horror. This is episode 231 of the program. Tonight we are reviewing Talk to Me, the new A24 horror movie. An Australian import. This tuna, Tice Peculiar.
I don't know about that.
Oh no. My name's Amy, I'm your fearless leader. That other Sheila you just heard, that's Jamie.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Welcome to
Do
Bingor.
some work. Welcome
I know,
Bangor.
I'm not good at it, but I like doing it a lot.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah, it is. This tuna. Sorry, I'm gonna stop now. It's an Australian movie, so
Yeah.
it might happen again. I cannot
It's gonna
promise
pop in and
you.
out.
It might. I just don't know her.
We don't know. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Yes, welcome to the Bloodlust. It's a sad day today, unfortunately. I wanted to talk about a very sad celebrity death that was just announced this afternoon. Pee Wee Herman. Oh no.
Oh.
I feel like this has been a bad couple of weeks for my generation in particular because Sinead O'Connor was a big deal to us, and so was Pee Wee at different times, but both are really sad losses. I don't know if you missed out on Pee Wee's Playhouse, if you were just a little too young to watch it, but I loved that show. I feel like there's like four great children's shows. One, of course, is Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers and Pee Wee's Playhouse. And I love Fraggle Rock, but that might just be me personally.
No, I loved Fraggle Rock.
But I mean, Pee Wee's Playhouse was such a cool, imaginative, campy,
I think I
fun
missed
show. Oh, God.
Like I was a little too early or a little too late for it.
It makes me sad that more people don't know about how great that show is. They're all on YouTube. I looked today. At least the first season is anyway. And they're wonderful. And there's weird cameos. Lawrence Fishburne was a regular cast member, so was Phil Hartman.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Of course Phil Hartman was. He was great.
Captain Carl, he was a seaman.
Yes.
And Lawrence Fishburne was a cowboy, Cowboy Curtis.
Sure.
And there were other weird people that popped into that show, like Sandra Bernhard for some reason, and just like weirdly big stars. It was a great show. Cyndi Lauper sang the theme song. It had stop motion animation. It had regular
I do remember
animation.
that. I caught it here and there, but it wasn't like a regular. I remember Large Marge.
That's from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay. Well, it was still Pee-wee, but I remember Large Marge.
And of course, before there was the TV show, there were the great Tim Burton movies. And I know this doesn't have anything to do with horror, but I was very sad to see that Paul Reubens died, and I wanted to say something about it. Because it was just the most fanciful, weird, wonderful kids show. And do yourself a favor and go back and just check it out. At least the beginning. At least with the great theme song, and get a look at his sweet playhouse. The set design on that show was incredible. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
And we won't go into the Sinead O'Connor stuff because it just makes me sad. I think we all know that she was right, as it turns out, and she got a lot of shit for it.
Yes.
There's a lot of women that I'm ashamed of how I thought of them. And I know it's because it's the way that the sexist media in the 1990s was, and that's how they told me to look at them, but I still feel guilty about it, you know, like her, like Lorena Bobbitt, like Anita Hill. Just makes me feel bad.
I wouldn't beat yourself up about it.
Somebody should be beating themselves up about Sinead O'Connor, though. It's very sad.
The right people aren't going to be, but
No, they're not.
no sense in you doing it.
I suppose you're right. Anything new and exciting going on with you, bud?
No, just that Caesar has recently gotten a haircut and he's all shorn and currently curled up in a fuzzy blanket, all covered with just his little head poking out, and it makes me very happy, even though he's chilly.
Yeah, but it also makes him like extra snuggly, doesn't it?
It does.
And that's nice.
It is nice. And I love doing it because he looks so cute, but I know you're not really supposed to shave cats, but man, I go 2 days missing brushing him, like being out of town or something like that. And in the summer when it's humid, he gets the most insane mats. And then I can't get him out. And it's like...
He's got very fine hair.
Yeah.
And he's not grooming himself as much as he gets older. No,
he's not. He's an older fella.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to get him shaved and then cover him up in little blankies.
You could get him little sweaters.
I could. Oh, I could. But it's just so cute curled up in a blankie.
I know.
With his head stuck out.
And I guess if he doesn't...
Drooling a little bit because he's old.
Yeah, Tommy drools a little bit too.
Sweet boy. But yeah, that's the only new thing going on with me.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
We live very exciting lives, listeners.
We do.
Oh, I have another piece of fascinating information that I'm sure our listeners will be super excited to hear. I got a new desk chair for my office.
Oh.
And it has really changed things for me. Because working from home used to be a grueling chore. And now it's still a grueling chore, but my butt doesn't fall asleep. So that's really nice. No, it's made it a lot better.
That's what we look for.
Yeah. It's when I can sit crisscross applesauce on too, which is nice.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And normally crisscross applesauce is not a thing I say because I don't really like those little sing-songy infantilizing things like that. Like putt-putt golf I don't like. I'd rather call it miniature golf. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. But Kay says crisscross applesauce, and I'm starting to like it now. So
I just say cross-legged.
Cross-legged. As long as you don't say Indian style, because that's racist.
So I fucking heard. It's fine. Whatever. I'll say whatever happens to come out of my mouth. But I will try to say cross-legged. I will also always fucking say putt-putt golf.
No.
Yeah, because that's all I've ever known it as.
Putt-putt.
Ew, I live walking distance from putt-putt, and that's always what it's going to be called.
Ew.
I'm going to putt-putt my way through the courses.
It just makes me want to, like, take a shower. I don't know what it is about it.
It's
like when people call their grandmas Meemaw. It just sounds weird. Or Paw. Anyway.
Yeah, that sounds like a you thing. You gotta figure out.
It's just a thing. I don't know. I'm not gonna look into it. I'm just gonna let it go.
Fair enough. Yeah, something's best not delve into.
Unexplored.
Yeah.
And until my therapist comes back from maternity leave anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, our therapist.
Yes. We don't go together.
No, certainly not. Although maybe they'd give us a discount.
A discount? I wouldn't hate it.
No. Anyway, talking about Australian horror movies. One in particular tonight, but we figured for the round table, we would talk about some of our favorite Aussie horror movies. One of which we talk about very frequently on the program.
I wonder if it's going to be the one I'll mention.
Probably, so I'll let you go ahead.
Well, I have two, and one's kind of a cheat because it's not actually Aussie. But I wanted to mention it anyways. Because there's never enough opportunities to mention it. But I think my favorite Aussie horror movie is Housebound.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. And it was great. It was a great movie, and it was hilarious and a total like unexpected gem.
That still not enough people know about.
No, I don't hear it talked about as much. I don't see it on enough things. Like, it's absolutely worth watching.
And hopefully because Megan was so successful, maybe people will look into his other movies.
Yeah. Like,
I hope.
It had creepy parts. It had a very cool plot line and story, but all of the characters and the acting was so good and so funny. And there was some like very intentional humor and some just very skilled, subtle humor, like in just facial expressions or just like
just good timing stuff.
Just great time. Like, it was just so good.
There's a lot of good physical comedy in it.
Yes, agreed. So that would be my Aussie horror. My cheater one is it's New Zealand, so I'm just kind of like lumping it in with Australia.
How dare you?
Because she's real close. But Heavenly Creatures, because we just don't get enough opportunity to talk about that movie. And I think it's worthy of being talked about as much as possible because it's so fucking good.
Why is there not a
very
Criterion
creepy.
Collection release of
I don't
Heavenly
know.
Creatures?
I don't know. Like, the whole thing is not creepy, but there are parts of it that are super unsettling.
I think the whole thing as a whole is kind of creepy. If you take it at face value of the story.
I mean, it is, but I mean, like, yeah.
It's not creepy for the characters per se, or creepy if you're really involved in their life, but if you're looking at it from the outside, it's pretty creepy.
But all the cutaway scenes to, like, their fantasy world are just some of the coolest shit I've seen. Like, I love that movie.
Yeah,
so
they've really
I know
not
it's not
done
Australian,
like
but
that since either.
There's not enough opportunity to mention that movie. And I just think it's so good.
I figured for sure you would mention Snowtown.
I thought you might think I would, but I held off on it.
Okay.
I feel like we've mentioned
we do
that
talk
more
about
than
it a lot, yeah.
And I don't want to be one that's like, I watch that fairly often just because, like,
I love seeing a dude get tortured in a bathtub. And a lot of dead kangaroos. Oh, like in this movie.
Yeah. No, the bathtub scene, without a doubt, is in my opinion, the most intense scene in that entire movie.
Oh, by far. It's one of the most intense scenes I can think of.
Yeah.
It's very upsetting.
Same. It's super upsetting. It is ridiculously realistic. I think that would be a very hard scene to film for everyone, those two who were involved in it. It is upsetting and uncomfortable, but goddamn, do I love that movie.
It's a great movie with one of the best lead performances I can think of.
100%.
That you don't hear much about either. I was going to talk about maybe Peter Weir. I don't know if you could call it a horror movie. It's sort of a I don't know. How would you describe Picnic at Hanging Rock? Have you seen that?
Yeah, we watched it.
We watched it together. It's like a dreamy, creepy, I don't know.
It's horror adjacent.
It's horror adjacent. It's creepy. There's something weird going on, and nothing is ever really explained. But there's a supernatural aspect to it that I've always found really creepy. It's a movie that I remember seeing a few times when I was younger and thinking that I missed something because I didn't really understand. And there's really nothing to get exactly. It's like what's not shown is what's scary.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
It's one of my favorite Australian horrors.
It's a good one.
And then my other one would be The Babadook. There was a while when we were getting a lot of good Australian horror movies.
Yeah.
And that is my favorite of the bunch. As much as I like Snowtown, I think The Babadook is just such a cool, perfectly made, self-contained little story.
It is.
And it's something I can rewatch
special.
And not get tired of and find more things to like in it every time. So that one, I think, because of rewatchability, I put that one over Snowtown.
Is more rewatchable than Snowtown. Even though I've rewatched Snowtown, that one is just, it's just a rough ride.
Yes.
Like, any way you look at it, that movie is, people talk about, Raw or Martyrs or Requiem for a Dream. I mean, any listeners know that I love those movies that make you feel shitty. Snowtown is absolutely up there, if not one of the ones that, even on rewatches, makes me feel just dirty and, like, shitty.
I've never...
It's hard fantastic, but it is such a rough watch.
It's hard to think of another movie that made me feel so bad.
Yeah. I will say again,
the particular type of bad it makes me feel like, oh God.
Is a feeling that I don't know that I've ever felt watching another movie.
Mm-hmm. It just feels so real. It really feels like something that you shouldn't be seeing.
And it feels like you're there.
Yes.
And you're participating in it and kind of watching it in a participatory way. And that, I think, fucked with me big time the first time I watched it because it was such an intense scene. And as a viewer, I was liking what I was seeing because I was like, this is my jam. I knew the story So I was like, okay, I'm seeing it play out. But also as a viewer, you are sucked in a way that, like I said, makes you feel like you're included in it and you're participating and you're part of what's happening. And that's a little bit hard to reconcile. Like they do just a really great job with it. All that being said, it is a really good movie with fucking solid acting.
Yeah.
But it's you gotta be ready for the subject matter because it's intense.
I will say that the first time I saw it, I was bothered by the performance of the guy who plays, not the bad guy, not like that.
The young guy?
The young guy. He was such a cipher, he barely talked, and he wasn't, to me, very expressive in his acting. So it was hard for me to connect with him, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know that you're supposed to.
I don't know if you're supposed to
that's
either.
the kind of person I think he's supposed to be portrayed as.
Someone who's an empty vessel who can just be
exactly. That's why he was so easily.
But to make him more relatable, it would be even more disturbing because it would make the viewer feel like we could be led to do those kind of things.
I mean, maybe, but I liked it as him not being relatable because I just don't think that. I think if he were more relatable, the impact of everything that was happening in it wouldn't have been as strong for me.
You don't think? I think it might have made it even more.
No, because he also wasn't a great person. So I don't need him to be relatable. I'm not trying to relate to someone who in the real story participated in some of those things.
Yeah.
You're not a good person.
Well, I don't think that a character has to be a good person for them to be relatable. I mean, look at
well, I don't relate to somebody who's an open vessel and can be easily manipulated by anyone around him. So regardless of how he was portrayed, I don't know that I would have found him relatable either way. I liked viewing it as an outsider and then feeling almost as I was a voyeur, I was part of the larger group that was just sort of watching the leader of the gang sort of do these horrific things.
Yeah, and I think that makes the movie really effective. I just wonder sometimes, what would it have been like if the performance of that character had been a little bit better, a little bit more, something more. Look at the girl in this movie in Talk to Me, how great she was with a lot of nonverbal stuff in the movie. If there had been somebody capable like she is,
true,
in Snowtown, maybe I would have. I don't know. I mean, it's really good the way it is, but
it is, and I don't know that
that's just my only critique.
That guy's character needed to be that because the character of John, that actor, was so big and was so perfect, and it was scarily he was him.
Yeah,
that was just stuff he wanted to do and was all for doing. It was insane.
It's like a Dennis Hopper in Blue Velvet kind of performance. Something where it was just you were just terrified of this guy.
Yes, 100%. And that is how it felt.
He doesn't need scary makeup
as a person
anything.
Looking at him, he is unassuming. He does not look like he would be scary. He just kind of looks like maybe he'd be a nice fella. He's kind of nice looking.
He has a nice face. That was
he has a nice face. He's attractive. But then
because he was the guy from The Babadook who was her love interest.
Yeah.
He's just a round-headed Charlie Brown looking guy.
Yep. But then everything behind that was just so horrible. So horrible. God, I need to watch that movie again.
Maybe we should just do an episode on Snowtown so we stop talking about it.
Have we never done one?
No.
Oh my God. Yeah, okay. I think we should make the decision right now to do an episode on it. We both obviously love it. We're already done a quarter of the episode just now.
Yeah, I know. We really did. We've talked for it doesn't matter. Anyway. Oh, another Australian horror movie that I wanted to mention that is really good and I don't think it's talked about enough is The Loved Ones. That's a really fun, a really gory, really intense
that's a good one.
movie. It'd be good for older teens, especially because it's about a prom night. But it's really, really fun, a really unhinged lead character. And is that the same kid? It's not the same kid, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. He looks the same as the kid from Snowtown. But I think a little dreamier.
I don't think so. Okay.
Because he was kind of dreamy, I thought.
The Snowtown kid?
No.
Oh,
the kid from the Loved Ones, yeah.
Sure.
So listeners, we'd love to hear about some of your favorite Aussie horror movies. I've never seen Wake and Fright, but I've heard that's really good. I heard there was some animal deaths or animal torture scenes in that, and that's why I've kind of avoided it, but I've heard that that's a good one.
We did Lake Mungo is Australian, right?
Oh yeah, it is.
We did Lake Mungo. Like it wasn't the best movie, but it definitely had aspects that I loved.
Oh yeah, Lake Mungo's a cool and
I remember really liking
movie.
watching it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
I feel like if I thought about it more, we'd come up with a few more. I think the stuff that comes out of Australia is very interesting, and it always feels unique.
Mm-hmm. And this one is no exception, so why don't we get started talking about it? Why don't you do the stats? It's Filippo.
Thank you.
I watched a video and they pronounced it, thank God.
Filippo.
Filippo.
I like saying, can I say Danny Filippo?
Yeah, you can pronounce it however you want.
Michael Filippo.
Filippo. Filippo.
All right, yeah. So, this movie was directed by Danny and Michael Filippo. It was written by Danny Filippo and Bill Hinsman and Daley Pearson. It stars Sophie Wilde, Miranda Otto, and Alexandra Jensen. It is rated R, runtime of 1 hour, 35 minutes, and it premiered at the Adelaide Film Festival October 30th, 2022. Released July 28th of this year, 2023. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it is currently at 94% fresh for critics and 83% fresh for audiences. Audience? Just the audience.
Just the audience.
Just the audience at large, yeah.
They.
Thems.
Those.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
This is a directorial debut of these twin brothers. They are Australian. They have a YouTube channel that was very popular with like 37 million views or something crazy, where they did like action-y, funny, violent shorts. And it's also the debut performance of the lead actress. And her name is Mia in the movie, isn't it? It's Mia, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And she's a teenager, and her mom died a couple years prior. Or recently, not too long ago. It's fresh.
Yeah, it does say like a couple years. At one
Was
point.
it a couple?
I think it says
okay.
2. Yeah.
Okay. But it's still rough for her, and her friends, or some people that she knows that sort of are her friends, you know, her friend group has been doing this crazy thing. They have this embalmed hand that has all these crazy symbols all over it, and if you hold the hand and say, "Talk to me," you can see a dead person. And if you say, "I'll let you in," they can inhabit your body for 90 seconds. Any more than that, and they will want to stay, according to the teen that introduces this to us. And the kids are kind of doing this for fun, like a party trick. It's
like
kind
a high.
of it's like a drug, kind of. Like they're doing whippets or something in their mom's basement, but they're experimenting with communicating with the dead and possession, which is a cool premise, if you ask me. And so Mia tries it and becomes kind of obsessed with it because she sees her mom. And then something else happens. One of the younger brothers, her best friend's younger brother, tries it and is very badly hurt. He hurts himself when he's possessed. And so everything kind of snowballs from there, and it leads Mia to try to figure out how to release him because they broke this magical circle before they could end it, blow the candle out. You know how you have to end a seance or whatever. So it's a deal like that. So that's our setup. These directors worked on The Babadook.
They did.
Or at least one of them did. And that's pretty cool. It's just a happy family there. Just
it's crazy to me that they
happy
were
family.
Just essentially YouTubers.
Yeah, and they were actually offered a DC movie and turned it down to make this. So good for them.
Good for them.
Good for her. What'd you think about this movie, Jamie? We just saw this yesterday in the theater. Oh no, Saturday, sorry.
I hated it. Just kidding.
Lies.
I didn't. I really kind of loved this movie. I thought it was a great time. I thought it was refreshingly unique. It felt like something we hadn't seen before. It was a total new take on sort of seance stuff and possession stuff. I think I felt like, I don't know, like I had seen I was visiting an old friend by the fact that it was Australian, simply because we did go through a stretch where we were seeing so many great things come out of Australia.
Yeah, around 2015, 2016?
Yeah. And then it had been a while, so this was just nice because, man, in my opinion, like, they just have a really great track record.
Yeah.
And so can we keep it coming? I thought all the acting in this was really well done. I thought everyone did a great job, especially the main gal who was her acting debut, Sophie Wilde. She was awesome.
Yeah, I liked her a lot.
She had some really great, like, facial expression acting that was incredibly convincing, and she just had some subtleties to how she interacted with folks or how she responded to cues within a scene that were just very natural feeling. And it helped make the movie, it helped bring an intensity and realism to what was happening. That being said, I loved the idea of sort of using this as a replacement for just like a party drug, as like, like teens wanting to like drink or smoke or whatever to escape the pressures of reality and real life and that sort of thing. And in this, it's like this drug of switching places with someone on the other side to allow yourself like a moment, 90 seconds of freedom, where she describes it. She's like, I was glowing. Like, I felt like I was glowing and I was just floating there and it was just peaceful. And it's like, yeah, who doesn't want that? So it was a very cool concept as like to explore that. Of course, teens would be intrigued by that.
With this the way that they experiment with other stuff.
Exactly.
And would be filming it and sharing it.
Yep. And the whole sequence of when I think it's like this first time they're at the party or the second time. No, I think it's like the first one. And it's just like a nonstop, like sort of montage of all of the folks sitting on there going through it. And you can tell like in one session, they're going back to do it over and over again. And it's like, that felt so realistic, like replace that with any other sort of vice.
Right.
And it still tracks.
And isn't that why we like horror movies too?
Yeah. I mean,
even they can use something like this to talk about, even party drugs or whatever.
Even the like mannerisms and expressions, like how they kind of like tense up and then like lean their heads back and then just like relax. Like it very much looks like someone who's in some sort of drug induced state. So I thought that was super unique and very interesting to see because it instantly made it believable. And so even though it's kind of a wild concept that there's just this sort of ceramic hand that they're grabbing onto and then that alone and saying the words allows them to sort of contact the other side, you are easily able to sort of just like believe that and let that be part of the realism because everything else feels so realistic. Like, okay, I'm on board for this because they're just stupid teens. So of course they're trying it. Plus, again, the facial acting of the actors when they held the hand and say, talk to me and then see something is so believable and so well done that it just, you feel like you're right there. And some of the, like, they show a couple of the spirits, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And they are unsettling. And I would nope the fuck out of that event. Like, real soon. I mean, I love the horror genre. I love spooky things. But I would never be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'll let you in.
So you wouldn't do it?
No. I would be tempted to because just the allure of, like, feeling the glowing feeling. But I also know that there are just drugs that will do that. And so I think I'm a pass on the dead person, and I'm just gonna go.
I think it would be. I mean, I guess I
drugs.
don't know, because it does seem like it's a euphoria kind of thing for them. But you'd think it would be more interesting to just talk to the dead people.
Yeah, and that doesn't really come in
The only one who does that is
a
Mia.
ton. It's Mia, and then at that point, you're almost not even sure if that's part of the gig, if that's part of like what you're able to do once you've sort of like welcomed them into, or if she's at that point sort of straight up losing it.
Right. Well, I think that it's interesting in the movie that they don't spell it out, but it's pretty clear that she's not talking to her mom.
Oh yeah, right.
So I suppose it would be interesting to talk to what you think are people from the other side, but whether any of the information you get from them is going to be useful or interesting or, you know, even just like not damaging to you is up for grabs, I guess. So maybe the inhabit my body for 90 seconds angle is maybe better.
Maybe. I'm still going to pass on that though.
I would try it.
You
sure.
would.
I just, you know, I'm always looking. I'm a seeker if I want to know.
That's one thing I don't think I want to, but I would watch other people do it.
Yeah, well, you just make sure you wake me up at 90 seconds.
I will.
In. You be my spotter,
yeah.
my sitter, and then I'll do it for us.
Sounds good.
You can videotape it.
But yeah, I thought all those scenes were really good. I thought, man, the scene with Riley, the brother.
Oh my God.
Was so fucking intense. And the practical
really
effects
intense.
in this and the gore and how they portrayed blood and just injuries in general, it was very subtle. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't overused.
It was effective. Very
but
effective.
It was super effective.
Yeah,
and it
the
was
special
really,
effects
really
makeup
well
was
done.
very good.
So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Like also sort of like the larger, not even subplots, but there is kind of like a subplot with Mia and her dad and like about her mom and like
her mom committing suicide or not.
if there was something that happened there that wasn't actually suicide, and then you kind of even question like, was Mia part of something like that's been hidden or like covered up for a while, like that. Normally I think in other movies I would be upset or annoyed if that didn't go anywhere specific, but I think it was used really well in this movie to just sort of create a thread of doubt and uncertainty in her that is the reason why she was constantly like seeking to look for her mom while she constantly wanted to go back to that. Yeah. And it made you question her dad, and then it like served to give justification or reason for things that happened later on. I just think, man, I just feel like this movie was really well written and really well directed.
What they chose to focus on and not focus on, I think, was really smart. The fact that they didn't go into, you know, here's the mythology behind the hand.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't have her go into a library and looking on microfiche to try and figure out some, you know, to solve some mystery about the hand. They didn't talk too much about how that stuff works or the ins or outs. They didn't dwell too much on the subplot with mom. Just enough, like you said, to give us that seed of doubt and to lend, you know, motivation to the character. But then they also, the way that they establish the relationship with her best friend and how they set up their relationship and the relationship between her and her best friend's brother and her best friend's mom and stuff like that. They're able to do it with an economy of writing that I think is very impressive and very assured for first-time filmmakers.
Yeah, I don't think I would have ever guessed that these were first-time filmmakers.
I wasn't struck by the movie stylistically, really.
No, but I mean, but there weren't the sort of signs you would expect to see from first-time directors. Everything felt very confident. It felt like the fact that I didn't pick out any one thing or like didn't notice anything particular, like it was all a very cohesive film. And
even though it was written by 3 people, it didn't really feel like it was written by committee or anything like that.
No, not at all. It was like they all 3 knew exactly what they wanted the story to be. And I'm a stickler on endings. They can make or break a movie for me, and I loved the ending of this.
Yeah, the ending to this was really cool.
Yes.
And they, again, it's what they don't tell you. You know, they're not spelling it all out.
Yep.
And yet it's a gut punch. It's an ending that gives you kind of like The Dark and the Wicked, that kind of like, you know, the best laid plans kind of thing, where it's like, you can try, but you're not going to get out of this. It's not going to happen. You're screwed.
Yep.
Yeah. I enjoyed it too. I think maybe we can talk about some spoilers.
Okay, good.
But before that, what do you think you'd want to rate this? And who would you recommend it to?
I'd probably rate this like a 4.5. And I'd recommend it to any horror fans. I just think this is it is not a cookie cutter horror movie. It is not like stuff that has been coming out. It's not like any sequels or prequels that have been coming out. It is not a remake of something. None of the characters feel like stereotypical, like they're trying to be archetypes of something. Everyone just felt like natural people, like anyone that you might know. You know, they weren't. I think of the Evil Dead Rise or whatever, and I think
how
of
artificial all of those characters felt.
Yeah, how you just immediately felt detached from them because they just were written to be like a very specific archetype of of a teenager and that sort of thing. These actors or these characters rather did not feel like that. They just felt way more authentic.
And it felt timely as far as like, yes, it felt like a movie that was taking place in right now.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to age badly or feel too gimmicky, or, you know, it doesn't do things to place it in 2023 so blatantly that it's annoying.
Agreed.
Know? I think it'll, you know, like Bodies had characters that were archetypes and that were kind of gimmicky, but that worked for that movie.
Yeah.
But it didn't work for Evil Dead Rise. This, I think, has the naturalism of something like It Follows, which I think is a good comparison to make.
Yeah.
As far as a similar type of movie.
Agreed.
And I think like It Follows, this movie can be something that will be a really scary movie, even for non-horror fans. I don't think it's not like so avant-garde that it's only a horror fan or a artsy-fartsy kind of movie fan would respond to it. I think this would be something that might be good for a wide swath of people.
I think so too.
I don't think, to me, I was hoping for another It Follows, and I don't think it quite gets there. I think what it's missing is, I don't think that the scares are quite as intense.
I would agree. Yeah.
I think maybe that has something a little bit to do with the score not being quite as good, and maybe not, you know, maybe things not being quite as stylized. But it has a similar feel, and I think it's a worthy companion to something like It Follows, even though I didn't like it quite as much and it wasn't as scary.
I will say the soundtrack of this was great, and I caught myself multiple times trying to Shazam the songs that were in it.
The one especially during the montage with the hand, that was a cool song.
Like there were just some real good like hip hop type songs in it that I really, really liked. But It Follows has a score that is still pretty unbeatable.
It's one of the best.
Like it is absolutely one of the best. It's one that comes on if like I'm driving by myself at night and I'm like, we'll listen to this for a little bit and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Like it's creepy.
So it doesn't quite have the style of that, but it's a good movie. I'm going to give it 4 stars. It's pretty violent. So if you're not a hardcore horror viewer, but you like occasionally watching horror, it would be okay, but it's got some intense scenes. Kay covered her eyes a few times. Primarily the time when the brother is bashing his head against stuff. the times when.
That was intense.
Yeah. And the eye gouging.
That was just such a small little snippet of a part, but oof.
Yeah, but oof. There is some animal stuff in this too, just FYI, although I'm told it's a puppet.
Oh, yeah, it looked like a puppet.
It was still sad.
Unlike Snowtown Murders.
Yes, which had...
In which used real kangaroos.
Yeah.
But then again, you are allowed to hunt kangaroos in Australia, so it's, it's not like they went out of their way to do that. It was fitting. Okay, it just adds to the gritty nastiness of that movie, and I am just making myself want to watch it more.
You're such a sick fuck, Jamie.
I know. Why?
Why?
It's a great question.
Well, again, our therapist gets back pretty soon.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about spoilers. I want to discuss this ending. So, this has quite a downer of an ending, huh?
You say downer, I say...
Tomato,
yeah.
So she's communicating with her mom. She somehow winds up... Okay, so first of all, the saddest thing in this is she, while her best friend is out of the room, she allows her best friend's little brother, who's like her brother, to try this. But then while she's doing it, or while he's doing it, she sees who she thinks is her mom.
Or she hears who she thinks is her mom.
And so she's asking all these questions, and it goes past 90 seconds, and he starts to violently beat himself and try to pull his own eye out. And then he's in the hospital, and he's not doing great. And she winds up with the hand somehow.
Yeah, she just somehow steals it and no one notices.
Or it just gets put in her bag. I don't know. She seemed surprised when it was in her bag.
Yeah.
But she ends up starting to communicate with who she thinks is her mom, who tells her, no, I didn't commit suicide. And this boy is suffering. He's trapped, and shows a glimpse of something right out of like Event Horizon or like Baskin.
Dante's Inferno. Yeah. Like that's
of the boy being like tortured.
That part was horrible.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah.
And so she thinks that the only way to release him is by killing him. So she tries to get them out of the hospital room so she can do it. And she also is being possessed intermittently, I think. Is that right? Because she wakes up sucking his toes, even though she sees it from a distance. I think she's being possessed intermittently by the spirit afterwards, right?
I mean, that one was definitely, she was seeing like, I don't know, like a woman in a dress or a man in a dress, like crawling on the floor.
Yeah.
And then coming up and sucking her friend's toes. And then it ends up, it was just her doing that. So obviously she was a little possessed.
And then she
the scene was
thinks
so
that
weird.
Yeah. And then she thinks that her dad's trying to kill her, but he wasn't. It was just the thing. And then all of a sudden, her dad comes in and she stabs him. And I thought she killed him, but I think maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think by the end it showed that like he made it.
Yeah. And she ends up fleeing after stabbing her dad and running to the hospital. And once they're out of the room, she takes him and wheels him down and is going to dump him into traffic. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but okay.
It's a way.
And she ends up not doing it. She can't. She doesn't have the gumption. She couldn't kill the kangaroo. She can't kill him. And so she throws herself out there and thinks that everything's okay and sees him leaving the hospital all fine and dandy, and then realizes that she is dead. And she is going to be summoned by the next round of teens to play with this hand.
Yeah. It was just very cool.
What a nice ending.
Yeah. It seems like it almost should have been like an expected ending, but it wasn't. And then it was so satisfying.
And it wasn't spelled out, and that was what was nice about it.
No,
You're just
'cause, like,
oh shit.
You figure she's dead, like when she's going through the hospital and she's seeing like
Right.
her friend's
Walking around
family
and
like
no one's
happily
paying
walking
attention.
out. Right. No, and then she talks about her nightmare early in the movie about how her nightmare is looking into a mirror and not seeing a reflection because she's not there. And then you see that happen, and then the lights in the hospital start shutting off, and she's kind of trapped. And then all of a sudden, like a candle light turns on, and you realize like, oh, there's a group of teens from another country that are playing this game. And he says like, she grabs the hand and says, like, it's very cool. Like it's really well done. The ending can make or break it. It was very nice. It ended
nice,
in just the right way.
Good ending.
Yep.
Nice self-contained story.
Like it's not feel good because she had been through the ringer.
No, but it's a good Twilight Zone ending, you know?
But
It's
yes,
a good,
but it was a satisfying ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a fan. I thought it was a good time. It's something different. And for the love of God, like it is so nice to see something that's not
old IP.
Jesus, yeah. Or like just trying to
a TV
throw
show
in a bunch of homages to like other things. And not that I don't like those movies, but they're fine.
But they're fine.
But we've had a lot of them
lately. Right. Even the movie we're doing next time, it's still old IP.
Yep. So I'm glad to see. And I'm glad that it's from Australia, again, because it reminded me of that stretch where we were just getting really good things. And so I'm happy to see this like well done, unique movie that is well acted, well directed, well written, and just tells a very interesting story. The only thing I can say, like I was kind of, if I had to talk about like a disappointment, is that there was all the talk, and I shouldn't have bought into any sort of hype about how scary and terrifying it was. But I should know that like that is just not going to hit me at this point. It's just not going to hit me the same way.
It's just not going to work for me.
For something to be super scary for me, it's going to take a lot. And I mean, I still can say like I haven't felt a movie was quote unquote scary since probably The Witch. And I still feel that like when I watch The Witch, like I still feel like a weird,
that creeping dread.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm right there with you as far as being desensitized, but I watched a movie over the weekend and a jump scare got me in it.
Oh.
Like actually made my heart sink.
Okay.
And it wasn't a particularly great movie. It was called The Stranger. It's on Shudder, I think, or just Prime maybe. It wasn't particularly great, but there's a really good jump scare in it.
Oh.
I did want to say one thing. I noticed that they've announced some new Criterion Collection titles, and one of them is The Others, Alejandro Amenabar's movie starring Nicole Kidman.
I love that movie.
Such a great movie.
What an cool, awesome twist.
Moody ghost story with beautiful lighting in it, and the performances are great, and that twist, man.
Yep. That movie got me.
It got me good.
That's a cool movie, for sure. That's a good Criterion Collection.
Yeah, now just make Heavenly Creatures.
Please. I think I only have one Criterion Collection movie.
Is it Silence of the Lambs?
Oh, no, I have two then. It's Silence of the Lambs and Princess Bride.
Oh, okay. Well, those are good ones to have.
Yeah.
It was funny. My girlfriend's, one of her best friends from high school, she follows me on Facebook, and I posted my Criterion Collection, and she sent a video to Kate to show me of this huge like shelf going like up to the ceiling of Criterion and movies and stuff, and then we went to visit there, and she was talking to her husband about it, and like, oh, yeah, I saw a snippet of Amy's collection. Nope, that's my whole collection.
Yeah, that was just a snippet. It's just the start, don't worry.
You think you're a collector, and then you see that.
Well, there's collector, then there's like obsessive.
Yeah, maybe so.
At what point does it go from collection?
Of 15 Criterion Collection discs. I buy one or two a year, and that's fine.
That seems more of a collection than just being like, I'm going to buy every one of them.
All the movies in my Criterion Collection are movies that I would watch, that I've watched multiple times and like to watch over and over again.
I still say Jaws should be a Criterion Collection movie, but that hasn't happened yet either.
I mean, yeah. Why not get a nice director-approved remaster?
So good.
So we talked about the ending. We'd both recommend this movie, 4 and 4.5 stars, respectively. I guess that's about all to say about this movie. How nice. I would say this is probably the best thing that we've watched all year.
Yes, I would agree.
And I hope that we'll see more that's good coming up. Our next movie is going to be the final voyage. What's it called? The final voyage
of the Demeter.
Hold on, it's on the notes. It's on the outline. Let me look. The last voyage of the Demeter is going to be our next movie. It's another theatrical release. Sorry about that. It's just it's been 3
summer.
in a row. You know, it's nice to go to the movies in the summertime.
It's nice and air conditioned.
Yeah, but I like to put the heated seats as high as they'll go.
I know, true. Still.
So it opens in theaters on August 11th, and shortly thereafter, you will receive our episode on it. I think after that, maybe we're going to revisit some older stuff, maybe Snowtown, although I don't know what else we can fucking say about it.
We can. Just forget everything you listened to or that you heard in this episode. I'll forget that I said it.
12 episodes we've probably done.
But I also haven't rewatched it in a while, so I'll pick up on more specific things.
That's a good point. But next time, Last Voyage of the Demeter, we hope you'll go see it and you'll join us in 2 weeks and we can discuss it together.
Yes.
And we'd love to hear what you thought about Talk to Me. Also, if you've watched Raka Raka, the YouTube channel of these guys, the Philippus. Philippu?
Yeah.
Philip.
Those fellas?
Yeah, let us know if they're good and worth watching. If they're like Ari Aster's shorts, which you get all kinds of insight into his brain with his weird shorts. Or if it's just fun stuff like Radio Silence. Either way,
we like those things.
Yeah, we like all those things. I love shorts. And capri pants.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jamie. This has been a fun time. Right. I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening.
Thanks. I'm going to go for a little walkie.
That does sound nice. It's nice and cool today. It's not 90 degrees, so that's nice. We hope you listeners are having a lovely end of your summer. We'll see you in a couple weeks. And until then, I've been Amy.
And I'm Jamie.
Thanks for listening, and good night.
Good night.